If you're like me, you've probably asked yourself, when is the end of time? From the fear of the world ending in 2012 to the global warming scare today, the world might need to buy oxygen.
The searing sun turning the earth into a tinderbox, leaving the ground cracked by drought.
Armageddon is the end of times which is tabulated in Revelations of when Jesus will come and pick up his sheep.
Hi, my name is Glory Mwangi and I'm a Christian. I'm a born-again believer. About end times, Jesus clearly mentioned and talked in detail about the end times and the details of exactly what will happen, including the tribulations that will take place. He talked about this in Matthew chapter 24, about the end times and the Antichrist who will come and put himself in the place of God and take his place on the altar of God and purport to be the one true God. But the same chapter 24 continues to say that God, actually Jesus, will slay the Antichrist with his breath and will actually conquer him, even though he will be given a period of time, that is exactly 42 months, to reign over the world, and people will be forced to worship him. But when Christ comes, he will slay him through his breath, and Christ will actually have victory over the Antichrist, because the Antichrist is against Christ and Christ is the one true God.
Ordinary people who say they believe in God are confused about the future because they do not know what the Bible actually states.
A question that is oftenly asked is there life after death? I believe there's life after death. Many of us, even as we are having our CU groups and Bible studies, we were discussing about, some of my friends were saying, when you die, some will rise when the end comes. Also, others were saying, others will be put in the middle of heaven and hell. It depends. As for me, I believe it all lies on God. I'm not sure about that. Everyone has their own theory. So the way our parents used to worship those days, it's not the same way we are worshiping right now. Like our parents were forced to go to church. These days we don't have to really go to church so that we can get the word. We can get it on the TV. You can get it on YouTube, so many channels. It's just the relationship between you and God.
According to the book of Revelation in the New Testament of the Bible, Armageddon is a prophesied location of gathering of armies for battle during the end of times, variously interpreted as either a literal or a symbolic location.
Whenever you hear the word Armageddon used, it's usually there to describe the finality or the awesomeness, potentially, of a conflict. Armageddon is really from the root word Megiddo, Armageddon, the valley of Megiddo. The Bible is saying that the final war of mankind will be fought in a specific geographical place called the Valley of Megiddo. And where is that? Why, it's in Israel.
Christians believe that the end times will be in a certain way and it will be the end of the world and we'll all go to heaven and things like that. I think it's absurd because that's just looking to Christians. So what will happen to the rest of the population? Like, will they now be like the sinners and remain on earth? Like, to me, it doesn't make sense. So having these different religions and all that, I find it easy to think that there's nothing like that. They're just like sets of stories.
We've had various people come out over the years claiming to be the chosen one. But how true are they to their title? Let's take a look and see if the end times are truly near as predicted.
Hi, my name is Diana Rose and I am a Christian. I do go to church like any other youth. And I think I have a great relationship with God in my own way. I do believe in the afterlife. I do believe in church because a relationship with God is so important. And I don't believe in the pastors who take advantage of the vulnerable who don't really believe in their faith in God, because you find at times we see rounds on social media of pastors telling people to drink jik to be cleansed in order to go to heaven. Or in 2012, when a pastor came out and told us that the world is ending, and he started digging holes, and people were going into that hole waiting for the world to end, and they were hoping that they'll be saved from the end. And I think that that is just so wrong, and pastors should not be like the judge of who goes to heaven and who doesn't. They should be like a connection between you and God.
The Bible does not specifically say the world will end, but it appears that it's destroyed by fire along with humanity. It seems clear that nothing else takes place on earth, or that earth is even in existence. Did you know there are more than 4,000 registered churches in Kenya belonging to an innumerable variety of religious denominations?